Hey guys, I'm back on our market day part 2, so let's get started. Alright, so the big set that's coming up, Destined Rivals, release date is in 3 days, and it's at 260 now, so what was that drop? It dropped $2. It's not that surprising that it's dropping because supply's been kind of steady. There's a caveat that it does say it is like 1,500 less boxes for yesterday. I'll get to that in a sec. Uh, but you'll see how even though there's been like 130 boxes being sold, there's hasn't been quite enough buying activity to offset the amount of supply being put. People are still listing these boxes for cheaper and cheaper, expecting the prices go down, especially with the release date coming, and therefore people are able to get packs from like other sources, like stores like Targets or wherever. People get the pre-orders, so the market's about to be flooded with stuff, and so people are, they're just trying to get in while they can, kind of. Um, I did make a note yesterday how Trading Card World listed 1,500 bucks yesterday, and it seems like they removed it. I have no idea if it was in response to my video or whatever. But yeah, they listed at like 265, and usually like they never try to sell anything. They just sort of like kind of mess up or they affect the quantity. So I still don't really understand the strategy except to get like possibly like free advertising. But yeah, they're buckle up. We're gonna see how good Destined Rivals is gonna be. Like it's not a do not compare it to Journey Together. Like you can in some ways. Like there's gonna be some similar market data, but it's not. It has way more value and it's gonna be in way more demand than Journey Together. So prepare for that. Um, ETBs, they oh shoot, they closed. Okay, ETBs are about the same price. It's actually kind of surprising how the price of the ETBs and the booster bundles are kind of holding. I guess we still have like a few more days for bundles to adjust, but bundles are the ones that are most likely to adjust like severely. Just because you look at the price per pack, it makes no sense to pay $4 more for a pack from a bundle. Um, so yeah, like maybe like $1 more per pack, $2, like something like that. But yeah, especially with people who are going to get these in store, it makes no sense. They usually almost always drop, so don't buy them at those prices. If you have them, go ahead and sell them if you can. Like you'll make a good profit. BTB demand is still around like 50 or 60. Bundle demand is still kind of higher there at 20. It's never been super high, but yeah, 20 has been okay. But yeah, I expect a lot of these prices are gonna just drop a lot. I don't really know how low. Like the floor is probably going to be like the booster box price. So let's say the booster box, um, that times six, like at today's pricing. So booster bundles should be like, they could drop all the way down to like, 40, 44, 40, like $45. Maybe $50 or 55 would be more acceptable. And then cases are still selling quite a bit at 14. So you're seeing case actually go up. People are starting to get like go after these cheap cases. There were a bunch of cheap cases around 1460 yesterday, so people bought those up. Seems like a pretty good deal. Now the cheapest you can get Destined Rivals is 248. Um, so yeah, I just feel like this is gonna be a really good set, but just a little more complicated with all the prices being so high out of the gate, unlike Surging Sparks. But we haven't seen a set this good ever since Surging Sparks came out in November, so literally 6 months ago. 6 months is a long time. All right, so Black Bolt White Flare. The main update for that is that the main numbers are pretty low. So you see over here only 2 for Black Bolts and 4 for bundles. But the main thing is that the White Flare ETBs keep going down. I really do feel like it's probably because of there's no picture here, so people just don't like it as much. Um, but yeah, it was at like 158 and now it's at like 155 or 154. You see a couple listings on the price. So yeah, actually you see a lot here. Trainers Trove have like 36. So that's a big um, blocker for the price to go up. But yeah, it just keeps dropping below even the Black Bolt one. So it's a good amount, 168 versus that's like $14 less. And then bundles haven't been selling and 2 sold today. All right, joining together. So I don't know what's going on with Journey Together. In terms of the Tcgplayer graphs, so this has nothing to do with like the actual market, but so the first thing that happened is that around May or May 11th, the graph just completely broke. I didn't really notice until someone pointed out in comments, and then but then you can still see the sales here. So if you just manually add them up, you can still get them. So that's what I do. If you look over here, I say like 18 were bought yesterday, and then for this one, I noticed for like the first time, like or 2 days in a row there was zero, and then today I was like thinking, wait, maybe I should check the sold ones. And yeah, there's plenty, or there's a good amount sold here, and so I'm like, oh, why are these both breaking? I feel like it's probably because um it just got messed up because there's two trying to get booster boxes. But yeah, now I have to manually count. Or at least I use like a spreadsheet stuff. I just use it like this. I count it up. Um, but that's a good amount of joining together booster boxes bought actually. Even with Destined Rivals being out so soon, like that's about 30 booster boxes bought, and that's actually higher than normal. So that's a little unusual, and it's possible that I've said it in a while. Like the booster boxes for joining together just seem a little too cheap. Like they're literally one of the cheapest booster boxes you can get at $202. They're the only cheaper booster boxes you can get are like actually are Battle Styles, and what's the price of Battle Styles right now? Um, Battle Styles is like no, even Battle Styles is at 207 and then Vivid Voltage at 210. So it's literally the cheapest booster box you can get, at least based on Tcgplayer pricing for single boxes. So it's a new thing. There's still people want to open it, and I feel like with joining together, I've been noticing that people have been contacting me more. A lot of them are people who are new to the hobby. Like literally, I hear people say, "Oh, I just got in Pokemon like last week because I hear my friends talking about it, I hear my coworkers talking about it." So I think that there's a little bit of influx of new people coming in, and joining together is kind of a great step for them to buy because it's like the cheapest booster box. It's new, so people like new, and also it's an enjoyable set to open because if you're going to get an entry level booster box at these prices, you probably want to pick a booster box that's easier on pull rates, and Journey Together is one of the easier ones, along with like Stellar Crown and Obsidian Flames. Those are great starter booster boxes if you're just getting in, unless you have let's just below the money, then just buy whatever you want. um, but yeah, so yeah, we see prices going up so marginally, like enhanced booster boxes recovered a little bit, PCTBs went up like $2, ETBs went up $1, and the cases are even going up a little bit. As far as ETBs 23 bought, that's kind of so. PCTBs a little more sold at 10. That's a little more than average. Bundles are still selling kind of okay, around 20, 24. They're kind of dropping a little bit, so I guess before they were around 24, so it's kind of actually returning back to normal amounts. And in cases, I don't really see cases being bought recently. I'm just gonna double check that it's not hiding data for me like the other ones are. But yeah, cases were not bought yesterday. All right, so next let's go to Prismatic. So the other three sets I cover are Prismatic, Crown Zenith at 151. All of them actually look quite strong, and with all this like stuff going together, like I'm seeing like strong sides of the market. Like so, Journey Together is doing a little better. Destined Rivals, it's kind of in this pre-release state, so it's kind of like in a you can't really count it. Like there's going to be a lot of volatility right now. But yeah, these other three sets, like it kind of shows like the market is kind of strengthening in that sense. So Crown Zenith, I've been mentioning this for a while. Pack price is up to 1085. I've been noticing that the price of the packs were meant to go up pretty soon. You see a little spike over here of things bought. But yeah, there were price points around like 1030 something and then 1060 something for a while, and finally they've been bought, and now we're seeing like the lowest price points around like 1085, which is pushing up the Crown Zenith price. And then additionally, the ETBs have gone up another $5 to 170, so that's their new high. And then Saints Guide and bundles are about the same. But yeah, the amount of packs being bought, we're seeing like over 100 packs bought for Crown Zenith 151 Prismatic. So Crown Zenith was 113, 151 was almost 200 at 190, and Prismatic was 145. Sea and Skies selling okay at 5. ETBs selling okay at 6. And then bundles selling that's so at 1. But yeah, the pack price is really important for these specialty sets, and yet now that the pack price is rising, it's just gonna push things up further. Like if the pack price gets like to $11, it's gonna push Sea and Sky up even more, which is only at like 11.22. There always has to be some margin, but you're seeing like packs of price per pack start to differ very widely. Like I'm not sure what the value of that Lucario card in ETB is, but if you ignore that, like the difference between this is like close to $6 a pack, which is crazy because like MSRP for Crown Zenith is about like $5. But yeah, Crown Zenith, that's my case for Crown Zenith looking stronger, and this is my case for 151 looking stronger. So, um, as I said before, 200 packs or 190 packs of 151 have been bought. I have some notes on this. So actually, for that, it feels like the scam. So I made a video like I think 2 days ago about a scam of 151. I think I saw it on like Sunday. So 151 GPCs, they there was like a big spike of like 3,000 bots, and I noticed yesterday how the number dropped from like 3,000 to like 2,600 on the graph, and now when I look at the graph today, it's like all gone. Like there's like no evidence of that happening really. Like there's not a big spike before you can see any of the bars basically, and I think that it's kind of confirmed to be a scam now. Technically, like I don't like it could be like a misclick or something, but either way, it was like it was definitely a too good to be true sort of thing. So for those who don't know, like these 151 UPCs, like 3,000 of them were listed for like $150. I was at the point where I saw 200 of them, but this based on the sale, like it was like a couple thousand. Um, the seller was CCG Trader, and I got lucky that I happened to just see the seller before everything sold out. And yeah, now that I look on their page today, I see a ton of bad reviews. So like a lot of 1 out of 5s, like scammer, fake listing, canceled order, stuff like that. It says that scammer is likely hacked. I don't know, but yeah, there's like a couple pages of this. Um, I'm surprised that there's not more of them, but yeah, there's like 2.5 pages of negative feedback. So there's that for that. I think that kind of wraps up a lot of the 151 UPC scam things. I don't know if I'll hear more about it. I haven't really looked up any other YouTubers. Like, there's probably more information on it. Like, I'm like kind of out of the loop. Like, I'm trying not to kind of just take a little break from some of the Pokemon consuming at the moment. So I'm just mostly just doing these market updates right now. Um, but yeah, as far as like pack prices going up, um, the poster collections, I know that they're going up, and Bloom Wars are cover, and those are important things because those are like some of the cheaper price per packs. Um, all right, let's just go back in order. So UBC demand kind of dropped a little bit. It was kind of going up a little bit. You see, like it's been a little more in this later ever since like the 16th. So it's been you see spikes of 15th, but you just see like more blue over here, like blue bar height. So it's just a little more over there. Bundles are something about 50, so it's kind of normal, and they're still hovering around their $70 price. They've been hovering around $70 so long that's been a pretty good sign because they used to struggle to like kind of maintain like 65, 68. It just sort of shows how like how good the demand is kind of for that. Pack prices, there is still quite a few packs around $11. So here are packs to 1074. And when you go to the next page, a lot of these packs listings don't have a lot of packs. It's at most like 19 or 20. So this goes up to 1115, and then the big sellers at 1150. So honestly, it could go up to like 1150 in the next few days as people buy out all the packs. So that's a good sign for the pack prices. ETBs, they haven't had any demand the last few days, so that's pretty much slowdown. This is the first time the whole month that there's been 2 consecutive days of no sales. PCTBs, only one was bought yesterday. But yeah, these posters, so I mentioned how Great Buys was depressing the market price because they had listed a bunch of cheap ones and it kept like decreasing the price until posters are sold. Now that they're finally gone, you see posters have gone up like $2 or like 164. So we're finally seeing like 151 packs go above $10 a pack officially. Like there's no other way to get it, at least on Tcgplayer. And I think it could. Posters have been like out around $40 before. So as these go up, it could. If it goes up to 34, 35, 36, it could really help the 151 pack price. And down here it already goes up to 33, which is already good for the pack prices. And there's not a ton listed. 15 were bought. And the binders, not really in demand yesterday. But yeah, the main other thing for pack prices are 151. 151 still selling pretty steadily. So still selling like 7 to 9 a day. The last couple of days have been 7. And yeah, I just been telling you, like I saw this around 145, staying at 145 for a while. It seems like it has gone up to 137 after being 135. Um, and demand isn't really dropping, so it could just keep going to like closer to 140. So I see 140 like toward the second page, like over here. This is 139. So you're just incrementally seeing the pack prices start to increase. Like Building Wars will overtake bundles eventually. Pack prices, like it's 200 were sold today, so we're just getting closer to like $11 per pack for loose packs plus, and then like closer to $12 for some auxiliary items. So that's the strength of 151 right now. And then Prismatic. So Prismatic has like up signs and down signs, but you'll see over here like today, like it's all yellow over here. I think there's a song for that actually. So I'm gonna go over that, but yeah, as I said before, Prismatic packs have gone up, so 145. Also, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised because Destined Rivals isn't a nostalgia set. Like the Journey Together was a little bit of a failure of a nostalgia set, but I think Destined Rivals is much better. It's not as good as it could have been, but it's definitely a more appropriate or more of a nostalgia set. Like people do remember the Team Rocket and it has some old Pokemon. So I think it will bring some people back. And that's kind of what 151 did. So 151 brought some people back in the hobby. As more people come back in the hobby, they're going to want to open some of these like packs, and then like what would you open? Like you're probably going to want to open like Prismatic 151 Crown Zenith at some point because they're just really high in demand. So like you're just seeing the cycle of probably some new money entering the market from collectors. um let's see, where are my notes for Prismatic? So the super premium collections are still dropping, or demand is dropping. It was at like it went down to like from hundreds to like 50, and now it's at 36. Quantity is still kind of steady. So SP super premium collections are kind of at the same place. They're kind of like stagnant around 223. Um, ETBs, they went back up, but demand is still kind of like iffy. So it's back in like the 30s. So that's not really enough to sustain these price points. But demand picks up. There's not a ton of listings. Like it's mostly a demand issue right now. There's not a lot of like people trying to flush out Prismatic, and actually a lot of these sellers are kind of more like new sellers without like the verify symbol. So just a lot of smaller people trying to get rid of their small amounts of Prismatic, which is a good sign. We're not seeing like a ton of big sellers. So that means a lot of the reprint got eaten up already. Um, Prismatic bundles 76 sold is pretty decent. I think it still just seems a little too cheap. Um, I guess 1165 is okay, but yeah, we need the prices, like pack prices, to go up for bundles to go back up to at least 75 or something. Um, PCTBs, you're seeing more about today. 7, so just a little. There's a slowdown of PCTBs, and now demand is going back up, so watch out for that. Surprise boxes, still at the higher demand levels of like 36. Prices are coming a little bit more. They're up about $1.50, so up to like $56 now. Packs I mentioned, they sold about 150 packs to 145. For Prismatic packs, I think that they're a little more stuck, so around this price point. So this is like up at like 1120, and there's 1122 is 156 packs, so it's still stuck around 1120. But I think that will change as like packs start to increase in price from other products. Pouches are still pretty low demand, 7. Binders, demand of 14. I think that they did go up a little bit. Yeah, they went up about $1 to about $69. Tin displays recovered back to 225 after dropping to 221, so it's up $4. And then a lot of the 3-pack things look a little stronger. Like when I look at the price per pack from here, all of them are at least $11. There's some lower ones at like I see a Leafeon Tech for $11, but otherwise the minimum is like $11.30, and that's because of the poster collection, and the rest are $11.50. So you're seeing just stronger prices for these 3-pack things, and they're approaching the bundle price, so the bundles will probably go up a little more too. So there's 11 poster collections bought. No Sylveon Tech. 4 Leafeon. The 2-pack things have been going down in demand. You see there's more, just slightly more before, but there's 2 sold. Glaceon, there's 2 sold. But yeah, like, so the case for Prismatic demand going up is like you see the yellow over here, things are recovering, and pack prices are looking healthier, and pack prices are really important. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.